I'm a bestseller, I'm a bestseller. I sold 20 books and it made me go to #1 in a category. You're not a bestseller. You know, there's so much misinformation out there about what a bestseller is and what a bestseller is not. Now, if you said, I hit #1 in a category on Amazon, that's a whole different conversation. But to call yourself a bestseller when you sell a handful of books and it drives your book to #1 in an obscure category does not make you a bestseller. Hi, I'm Kathleen Gage with Power Up for Profits, and I'm here to shatter the myth about what it really means to be a bestseller. And in addition to hitting #1, what's your plan after the fact? So you sold 10, 20, 30 books. Even if you sold 100 books, that is not going to sustain you. That is not a sustainable model for an author. What you want to do is you want to look at what's the pre-plan, the launch, and the post-plan of a launch in order to really optimize the revenue streams that you can create as a result of being an author. It's better to be an author who makes money than to be a broke author who hit #1 in all these categories and you sold a handful of books. So I'm going to take you through the process of what it is to develop a pre-launch, a launch, and a post-launch, really with having your plan in mind of where you take people next. So join me for an overview of a pre-launch, a launch, and a post. Okay, so I want to show you the 3 parts of an Amazon campaign. Now, this is an Amazon #1. It doesn't mean you're a bestseller if you get #1 in a category. However, the more you put a campaign together, the more likely it is you can get to great numbers overall on Amazon. If you're in the top 100 overall, you sold thousands of copies. If you're in the top 100 of a category, you might have sold 1 or 2 copies. If you're #1 in a category, again, you may have sold 10, 20, 30 copies. So really look at the alignment of what you're saying with I'm a bestseller compared to how many books you sold. In a campaign, you have your pre-launch, you have your launch, and you have your post-launch. The pre-launch is where you develop the foundation, and this is where most of the heavy lifting takes place. You really have to put your ducks in a row in order to do a launch that drives a lot of traffic to your Amazon page during the 2 to 5 day period, and people are buying the book every single hour you're selling books. Now, if you can keep the momentum going day in and day out for weeks, months, and years on end, that's great. But the reality is most authors can't do that. However, what you do after the fact really makes a difference. And I'm going to share with you some strategies on really how to optimize the back end. Before I go any further, I'd like you to go ahead and subscribe. This little red subscribe button on the YouTube page, you go ahead and subscribe and you'll get updates as I do videos like this. So one of the first ways that you can really optimize a campaign is to put what's called lead bait inside your book. You can put lead bait inside a physical book. You can put lead bait inside a Kindle book. The nice thing about a Kindle book is that you actually can put a live link where people click here and they're taken right to an opt-in page. This helps you to build your list so that you can stay in touch with the buyers. Because the reality is that Amazon is not going to give you the list of who bought your book. You have to be really proactive in figuring out ways to get people on your list. One way is to make offers inside your book and make them evident. This is not on one page in one of my books. Actually, I have this in almost every book that I do, especially my Kindle books. I have an offer at the beginning of the book and an offer at the end, and maybe an offer in the middle of the book, but definitely at the beginning, definitely at the end. You want to make sure that your offer is consistent with what the subject matter of your book is, because if you do a book on dog training and then you offer something on diet for you, or for your readers, it makes no sense. However, if you do a book on dog training and then you offer a free checklist to know if your dog has emotional challenges. I mean, dogs have them, people have them, and so you offer this checklist, that's in alignment with the subject matter of the book. One of the things that you can do is you can put what's called a landing page together